A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant diplomatic breakthrough, 10 American citizens are on their way back to the United States after being released from detention in Venezuela. This development follows a complex prisoner swap involving the U.S., El Salvador, and Venezuela, as confirmed by Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The Americans were freed in exchange for El Salvador repatriating 252 Venezuelans, who had been deported from the U.S. earlier this year and were held in a notorious Salvadoran prison known for its harsh conditions. Among those released is Wilbert Joseph Castaneda, a former Navy SEAL who had been detained while traveling in Venezuela. Castaneda's family expressed their relief, stating that they had prayed for his release for nearly a year. They highlighted the challenges he faced, including traumatic brain injuries sustained during his military service, which they believe impaired his judgment leading to his travel to Venezuela. The U.S. government has long warned its citizens against traveling to Venezuela due to the risk of wrongful detention, a concern that has now been underscored by this incident. Rubio emphasized the importance of this release, noting that until today, more Americans were wrongfully held in Venezuela than in any other country. He credited the leadership of former President Trump and the collaborative efforts of various officials, including Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele, for making this swap possible. Bukele confirmed on social media that his government had returned Venezuelans accused of being part of the gang Tren de Aragua in exchange for American citizens and a number of political prisoners. This swap comes amidst ongoing tensions and sanctions against Venezuela, which have severely impacted its economy, particularly its oil industry. The U.S. has imposed sanctions on several leaders and affiliates of the Tren de Aragua gang, further complicating the situation. Despite the humanitarian nature of the deal, the U.S. administration maintained that there was no discussion of sanctions in the negotiation process. The flight carrying the freed Americans departed from Venezuela shortly after the swap was finalized, with officials indicating that the Venezuelan government had attempted to delay the exchange as a show of power. This swap not only highlights the fragile nature of U.S.-Venezuela relations, but also raises questions about the treatment of Venezuelan nationals deported to El Salvador, many of whom have faced allegations of gang affiliation without substantial evidence. Reports have indicated that many of these individuals were in the midst of asylum proceedings when they were deported, raising concerns about the legality of their treatment. As the news of the swap spreads, families of the Venezuelan deportees have expressed mixed emotions, with some learning about their loved ones' return via social media. This complex situation underscores the ongoing humanitarian and political challenges faced by both American and Venezuelan families caught in the crossfire of international diplomacy. As this story continues to develop, the implications of the prisoner swap will likely resonate across diplomatic circles and impact future negotiations between the U.S., El Salvador, and Venezuela. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.